Go Trump. Oh, sorry. Didn't know we were still on air. We hear a lot of people say, like, kind of F your job and like move on and go do your own thing. And people want to get all excited about it and stuff. But like, how do you really actually do it when you're making, six figures and you're doing really well and you don't know, like, where else to go? How were you able to do it?
Well, the thing is, I'd actually started working on building the platform to do that many years before I ever made the move. We were just reflecting on this picture of me looking young there back in 2008, and we were working on a project together. But, I'd started my YouTube channel a couple years before that, started producing free educational, content whenever I could. I was busy, but I'd be in the gym and I'd be like, hey, I'm going to talk to everybody about a coaching concept at the gym. And let's record this and throw it up. And this is before mobile phones were like super, like it was really easy to do that sort of stuff.
And some of that you had momentum with without even ever knowing that it was going to become anything.
Exactly.
Really, right?
Did podcasts, things like that, started building a brand, right? And so when the switch made, I had my first product designed and I just reached out to my audience and said, hey, here's it. And this is the concept. This is where it's going to go. Ah, yes. Look at those charming. Oh my God, we've changed roles. So I'm the fat one now, and you're the skinny one.
Maybe next time you come back, we'll switch again.
Dude, your cheeks, man. Like, that's wild.
I am pushing my belly out on the Prego, but that is hilarious.
I
Just
don't
to
know.
clear.
Was that product you were talking about? Which one was
the Shoulder Rock?
Shoulder Rock.
So I put the Shoulder Rock. I made 10 prototypes. And I went and I worked with like Eric Spoto and a few other people and Stan Efforting and got a little bit of momentum and hype going about it. And then did basically my own Kickstarter because I don't think Kickstarter was around then. Maybe it was. I wasn't familiar with it. Yeah. And put it out for sale, listing what the lead time was going to be. Got enough orders to launch that.
What do you mean you put it on sale? Was it like on the internet, like a Kickstarter?
Not a Kickstarter. It was just I created my own website.
Oh, okay.
And put it up for sale with cool. What the lead time was, that it was development and people ordered them. Was able to fund the startup of that and got that going. Started selling those. Launched the whiskey and deadlift shirt, and a couple months later, I was able to walk away from my job.
Let's back up just a little bit. How did you, when you took money, were people like investing in the business, or was it just to support you, or
no? It was to buy. So I listed it's going to be 12 weeks to make this because I knew that would take me like 8 or 10, and so they basically ordered a product.
I see. It's like mainly like a pre-sale.
Yeah, pre-sale.
Gotcha.
So we don't do that anymore, but that did the same thing.
That's a little scary too, right? Like you have people's money and then, you
got to deliver.
Yeah.
So did the same thing with the Duffalo bar.
You get one shot at that
March or that. So I did that at the beginning of there with the Shoulder Rock. And then in May or June, launched the Duffalo bar with a pre-sale as well.
Whether or not Kickstarter was even available back then, it wasn't as accepted as it is today. Like anybody can start a Kickstarter and people they won't just throw money, but like it's a normal thing now. Back then, I'd imagine it was not. So like, was there?
No, and I wanted to have my name behind it. Like, I'm putting this out there. I'm guaranteeing that this is going to get done.
So was there like a huge resistance early on, or just you had trust already built because of
that's what I said. I had trust built because I'd been out there for a while, demonstrating who I was, producing So for years, I spent building a platform, writing for a number of different online
blogs,
Breaking Muscle, Elite FTS. So I was doing a lot of work for years building that position. So, I get people message me a lot. They're like, hey, I just got out of school. I want to know how I get into online coaching. How do I start? And I'm like, you need to go like get a job at 24 Hour Fitness. And I'm like, what? No, I'm like, you got to cut your teeth somewhere and like learn the basics. Like, so,
but I want to retire by the time I'm 30.
I want to start, I want to start, writing and coaching and doing this stuff online. I'm like, you realize I've been training for 15 years maybe 20 years before I ever published my first article, where I felt confident enough that I've got something of value to add. And then I did that for another 10 years, maybe not quite 10 years. Yeah, 7 years. So let's say 15 years and then like 7 years of doing that before even saying, hey, I'm ready now to go launch my own business. And so you got to take your time like learning as well. You can't just go, hey, I want to be a motivational speaker. Well, you got to have some experiences to speak from, you know?
Yeah.
I know you just got out of college or high school or something, but like, and that's a grand ambition, but you need to have some content, you've got to have some material, some experiences in your life. And same thing goes with anything. You've got to cut your teeth, and there's nothing wrong with working for somebody if you want to be an entrepreneur. You know what they're doing when you're working for them? If you find the right job, you're getting paid to learn. You're getting paid for your degree in life, like all the time. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the reasons I did the work that I did for as long as I did. I didn't know that I would be going into this industry, but I knew that I wanted to launch my own company down the road. And I was specifically choosing roles and advancing my career because, man, there's so much to learn that I don't want to do it on my dime. Like, is that a bad thing to say? I don't think it is.
Right.
Like, no. And I do the same thing for my employees. I try to advance them and get as much for them. And if they end up going and doing their own thing, that's great for them. I'll support them in doing that. But I also don't want to not develop, who we've got. That's just ensuring your own loss.
And then even in the confines of any business, if a business is run properly, in most cases, everyone should be able to be like a mini entrepreneur within the business itself.
Absolutely. I think that's why I said choosing the right job, because not everybody works in that fashion. And that's something I always try to do, because people always contacted me about like, hey, can you do something for this within my company? I'm like, hey, I need you to put you in charge of this. They're like, oh no, I want to talk to you. And I'm like, well, I don't head up marketing. I don't make the decisions. Like, you need to talk to our marketing people. You need to talk to our sales people. You need to talk to operations. And people always want to go through me. And I'm like, I actually don't make the decisions in those areas, but you're the owner. I don't make the decisions in those areas, like, because that takes all the fun out of it for them. Like, if you've got a job and all you're doing is executing exactly what you're told every day.
Yeah.
There's no creativity. There's no, I mean, that's not what you want. So you need to find the right.
We don't have much of a job description here when people come. Like, people will ask for one. They're like, "Can I get like?" We're like, we don't really do that.
Yeah. Well, and I found too is like some people need that, and unfortunately, that doesn't work for us either. So it's like you probably need to find somewhere else, because that's not the type of environment. And if that's what you need, like, it's going to end up being painful for both of us. But yeah, I mean, that's exactly the point. Is like, everybody, every leader in our business is basically managing their own business, making those decisions, and they'll run it by me or run it by our team for getting input and making sure we're all aligned. And that's why we have like a very specific, like, defined who we are as a company and what we're trying to accomplish. So to help that process. But it's me providing input, not telling people what to do.